Hey, it's John Hope Bryant, founder and CEO of Operation Hope. This is, I think, update number 4 or 5 on COVID-19 and what you need to do for your financial economic disaster response plan in these times. First thing is not to freak out. I'm going to cover 3 important topics here in a very short period of time. Share this video on your page, share this with friends, comment, engage. Talk to your family and friends tonight about this topic. Hey, Rakita, I'll answer questions either in real time or I'll come back. Number 1, federal money is coming your way. I said this in my last video. Hey, Jocelyn, I said this in my last video that we have been working with the federal government, both parties, Republican and Democrat, also the executive branch, because there's no time for partisan politics. We've been working with the executive branch, specifically the Treasury Department, and the Comptroller of the Currency, the FDIC chair, the Federal Reserve, the SBA, and others around something they asked me to help them on, which was to help design a $300 billion small business liquidity package, which we did last week. And I'm proud to say we saw it in the bill that I think got signed today as part of a larger response package. So I don't know whether they took all of my recommendations or not, but the bottom line is money's coming your way. And I want you to read that package. I think, again, that it got signed into law today. You'll see there's money for individuals. So that means if you make less than $90,000 a year, you're going to get a check. So you need to make sure the government can reach it. If your family makes $150,000 a year or less, then the family will get, I think, a couple of checks, meaning if there are 2 earners in the household. This is whether you're employed or unemployed, so don't go running trying to become unemployed so you get the check, or you don't have to play any games. The money's coming your way, in my opinion, based on what I know about the criteria. If you're a small business owner, you're at the heart of one of this package. The whole package is over $2 trillion, which is by the way 20 times larger than any emergency response package in the history. Hey, Dianca, in the history of this country. If you haven't filed a 2018, 2019 tax return, do so now, Camara said. Yep, you want to make sure that the government knows where you are, so file your tax returns for sure. Hey, Sergio, what type of loan guidelines will be the SBA have for a small business loan? Okay, that's a good question, Sergio. Whatever loan guidelines you see on the website right now for the SBA, and a friend of mine said that the website is actually crashing because there's only people trying to get to it, but have patience. Whatever guidelines you see right now, in my opinion, those guidelines will change. If you go to the website end of next week, you'll see more enhanced guidelines from the SBA of how to get some money. So don't get frustrated if you see today that you don't qualify. Those qualifications will be different for the money that was just approved by Congress. I will tell you right now that if you have employees and you retain them, or you furlough them and are willing to bring them back, then this program's for you. This is really designed. If you owe the IRS, I think they're going to go easy on you. I'm not sure. I think that if you owe the IRS, you'll still get a check. Is my guess. I'm not sure, but they're not going to hunt you down in this current environment. So you need to communicate with your creditors, including the IRS. But I think that you'll be okay as far as them not penalizing you further. Hey, Brian Johnson, just sign on. So number 1, federal money is coming for small businesses. If you're employing people, it's really something that's going to make you happy. You'll be able to put people back to work. There's a forgiveness clause in this loan, in this package, if you retain employees. But watch, as I understand the details better, I'll let you know. But this is something that we helped to design on the front end. It's part of this package, so we're very proud of Operation Hope's contribution. But of course, the federal government was the last word, so we'll see what they came up with. But you'll start to see Operation Hope playing a role in this on a go-forward basis. So that's number 1, but that's not really the purpose of this video. I want to let you know that money is coming and will be flowing into the economy. I'll do a special video on the economy, maybe tonight or tomorrow, to unpack what's really going on and where we're going. Is it a recession? Is it what's going to happen in the future? I'll unpack all of that. If you're interested, let me know. I'll do that video tonight or tomorrow. And actually, long term, I'm actually optimistic, if you can believe that. Let me now deal with the second issue, 401k. For those who, I've been getting a lot of requests. My wife said, hey, you need to do a video. Hey, Cheryl Daniels, one of our top fans, and she already said shared, right? So make sure you share this video with those you love, even those you don't love. Those you don't love may come ask you for a loan, and you don't want folks you don't like asking you for money. So make sure they know about this so they get resources from elsewhere and not bothering you. Smile. Got to keep your sense of humor. My wife said, look, John, millennials got these new 401k plans, and they were born when you had a black president. They thought the world was progressive and problems have been solved, and they're just used to the stock market going up. They have no idea what it looks like when the stock market goes down, and they're trying to sell their stocks through their 401k plan. What do you say to them? So here's what I'm saying to those who have a 401k plan. This is my suggestion now, okay? Tell you what I did. Do nothing. Sit on it, right? You've already locked in your losses. So when I got a call last week about some of my stocks, I'd already got hit 30 or 40%. What good does it do at that point to sell, right? I mean, you might as well wait and ride it back up, because ever since the Great Depression, stocks that went down even through the Great Depression, ultimately, if the company didn't bankrupt itself, ultimately went back up. The economy overall always does this and always does this. You don't want to ride this, you don't want to really sell here. You want to ride this. And what are you going to lose if you ride it out? Because it's not going to get much worse than where you were 3 days ago. Basically, so unless you're talking about your rent money, if you needed your 401k plan money for medical supplies or something desperate, okay, then maybe you should sell. But if you don't need it to float your bills or for some obligation or to pay for, emergency medical operations or something tied to COVID-19, then ignore it. I ignore my investment accounts. Absolutely ignore them as if they don't exist. Just let them sit there and go on about your life. And by the way, it helps the nation recover. So you don't panic selling, and it helps you. Because as Warren Buffett once said, when people are greedy, be afraid. And when people are afraid, be greedy. It's always a bad idea to get out and try to tone the market. That's what Rick Spencer said. Again, my wife suggested this video on 401k, so I want to thank Shatra for that. Do nothing. Just sit on it, because it's not going to get much worse, in my opinion. With the stimulus being inserted, you're going to see a stabilization of part of the market, and you see part of the market begin to self-correct. So you hit a bottom last week because there was no stimulus and there was no answers, but everybody sort of pulling out of the economy. Now, it's not going to be great while people are out of the economy, but I think you're going to find some stability, and whatever losses you have incurred, again, you've already incurred them, so why sell into a loss? Does this make sense for you? Give me a thumbs up. Now, again, if you're desperate for your money, then ignore what I just said and go get your money. But that's a different thing. That's when your cash is more valuable than your investment. Rick Spencer says, agree with you, John, just to ride the wave. Okay, number three topic. A friend of mine called me today. Excellent advice about 401k, Jocelyn says. Number 3 topic. Friend called today. He has a exotic car dealership. It does very well here in Atlanta. His high net worth clients decided not to buy right now and to hold off for a few weeks, smart, maybe even a month or two, to buy that exotic car. But what he started getting was troubling calls from people that he characterized as lower income, and basically what he told me, unfortunately characterized probably accurately, or let's say they were lower educated about finance, and they started asking, hey, what about that? What's the down payment on that Lamborghini? Okay, what's the down payment on that Mercedes or whatever? And they did ask, what's the financing percentage? And he said, well, what's your credit score? How's you doing on money? He said, well, I'm doing okay on money. And so this is a Lamborghini now. And he said, well, how much, are you coming in ready to buy a car? Because if I come in, because I'm doing social distancing, I need to know that you're prepared to be a buyer. And, it's curious, like, do you have the down payment? Yeah, I should be able to have the down payment. Okay. What's your credit score? He said, I got a good credit score. Okay, well, what is it? 560. This guy, and he said it was a couple of them that called had a credit score of 560, which, by the way, if you don't know, that's really bad if you're trying to buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever. I mean, first of all, why are you financing it? And then he said, well, no. Then he said, well, can you take back the paper yourself? Can you finance it yourself? And the guy was like, and I'll tell you, is my friend Tony Marzullo, Gas Motor Cars, who runs a wonderful business. I'm one of his clients, and historically been one of his clients. He buys and sells things for me. And he said, well, why would I take your paper back? Why would I take paper for you when clearly the markets have suggested that you don't pay your bills? A 580 credit score would suggest that you don't pay your bills. You've defaulted on somebody. The banks don't want to finance you. Why would I? Why would I put you on my balance sheet? And the guy was like, well, is it like that? And he says, yeah, it's like that. Like, I don't know you. Like, you're not my cousin. Like, why are you calling me? But why are you have $4 in your pocket. Why are you trying to buy a car? Unless it's for critical transportation. This was not critical transportation. This was a luxury, frivolous purchase. But this person was just clueless about what's going on in the markets in the world right now. They're not reading the Wall Street Journal. They're not watching CNBC or Bloomberg. They're not listening to me on these live broadcasts. They have no idea their 560 credit score is horrible when you're trying to do anything. By the way, get your credit score up. Go see my Hope Financial coaches immediately. Get your credit score up right now, preferably to 700, certainly above 680, because you're going to have credibility, credito, it's Italian, credibility with creditors in this environment. I want you to have one credit card that has no balance on it so that you can use it in times of emergency, right? And I want you to take part of the stimulus money and put it aside for times of emergency. And I want you to not be the flakes, not paying their creditors right now. I want you to pay every bill that you can on time, certainly credit cards. People are going to be watching to see what kind of person you are right now, about whether they cut your credit or advance your credit. I'm paying all of my bills on time because I can, and you should, because if you wrote an obligation, you should keep it. But you're sending signals to the marketplace right now about what kind of person you are, even though that you cannot pay your mortgage if you don't want to right now. Should you not pay your mortgage if you can? If you can, and you've got the liquidity, and you've got a job, I think you should pay your mortgage. I'm paying my mortgage. But if you are troubled and you can't, you lost your job, your hours have been reduced, then you should call your creditor and negotiate 2-3 month deferment. Our Hope Financial coaches can help you do that. So if you have $4 in your pocket, go buy some groceries. All right, go buy some water. Put $2 in a reserve account. Don't go buy a luxury car. Okay, don't even call anybody. You embarrass yourself. All right. I hope this has been helpful. Hope this also gave you a little bit of humor. I want you to stay positive. I want you to stay hopeful. We will get through this. Rainbows only follow storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. John Hope Bryant, I'm out.